Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Hello, and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. I'm going to show you a recipe for some big fat peanut butter chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. Got that? These we're going to a game of my granddaughters. My husband asked if they were for Bible school. He said, nope, taking them to our granddaughter. So in my bowl, I have 1.5 cups of flour, and to that I want to add a teaspoon of soda, a teaspoon of baking powder, and a teaspoon of salt. I just want to whisk that in. Then I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to cream 1 cup of butter for about 1 minute. Okay, now to that I want to add 2 different sugars. Get that all the way off. I want 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and I want of my white sugar, or my granulated sugar, I want 1 cup. And I'm going to cream these in and beat it for about 2 minutes. Okay, now I have peanut butter on me. So I creamed the butter and the sugars for 2 minutes. Then I added 1 cup of peanut butter, and I want to beat that in for a minute along with 2 eggs that are at room temperature and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Actually, who am I kidding? I should never wear white, period. I get it stuff on me all the time. Okay, just want to scrape down the sides of the bowl, and then I'm going to add that flour and soda, baking powder, and salt mixture to this, and I'm going to add it in 2 additions. I don't want to overmix, but I want to make sure I get it incorporated really well. Have my oats that I want to put in, and I have 2 cups, and you want to use old-fashioned oats, not quick cooking oats. So I want to mix those in. Then the last thing I want to mix in, I want to take some semi-sweet chocolate chips, and I'm going to do 2.5 cups and put these in, mix them in, and then I'm going to cover this and put it in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. You can leave it in the refrigerator longer than 20 minutes, but if you go an hour or more, make sure you bring it to room temperature for at least 30 minutes so the cookies will cook correctly. So, 2.5 cups. Runaway chocolate chips. Could have got a bigger bowl. Okay, I'm going to cover these and put them in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. Now that our big fat peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough has cooled for 20 minutes, and actually mine was in about 25 while I was doing some other stuff, I want to form those into about 2 tablespoon size cookies, and I'm only going to put 6 on my tray. I can save the rest of my dough for tomorrow when I have more time, but I can take these cookies to my granddaughter. So I'm going to put these in a 350-degree oven and bake them for about 12 to 14 minutes. And then I want to take, when I take them out, I want them to cool for about 5 minutes on the cookie sheet before I remove them to cool completely. But I will show you a picture when they're all done. Hello, welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. I am going to show you a recipe for some strawberry rhubarb pie. Now, our strawberries are ready, and well, actually they're about done. And so if you have fresh strawberries from your garden, that's great. If not, then you can use store-bought strawberries. And I have about 2 to 2.5 cups of strawberries that I've cut up. I also have about 4 cups of fresh rhubarb that I've cut up, and we planted rhubarb this year, but something decided it would eat the roots of it, and so you can find these at some grocery stores. If not, you could probably use frozen. I haven't tried it, but you probably could. So I cut that up into about 1/2-inch pieces, and so I'm going to mix the two. And then I'm going to put in some sugar, and I have in my bowl, I have 1 1/4 cups of sugar. And the strawberries will help sweeten up that rhubarb a little bit. If not, the sugar will help. This is a North Dakota recipe, but I remember as a kid eating rhubarb all the time. We would just go outside and cut it off the plant and wash it and then dip it in sugar. Which is still pretty tart, but okay. So I've got that mixed. I've got other stuff going. I've got my pie crust in the background. You're going to need a double pie crust for this. And you can make a lattice top if you want to, or just a top crust that you vent. Okay. I'm also going to put in this 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and that will be our thickener. So now I'm probably wearing cornstarch. Some recipes will have tapioca and then a little less sugar. Some will have you use some flour. If you use tapioca, a lot of times they'll have you use some flour to help thicken. That was a 1/4 cup of cornstarch. Okay, and I've got a teaspoon of lemon juice that I'm going to put in, and I squeeze this fresh. And then about a teaspoon of lemon. That was lemon juice. Now I have lemon zest that I'm going to put in. And last, but certainly not least, I'm going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. I'm going to mix this all together. And then I'm going to pour this right into my 9-inch pie shell. And then I'm going to dot it with about 2 tablespoons of butter. And put the top crust on. Sprinkle the top crust with sugar after I vent it. You can use an egg wash if you want to. I'm just not always crazy about egg washes. And then I'm going to put it in my 375-degree oven and bake it for 1 hour and 20 minutes. It may only take 1 hour and 10. And the last 10 minutes or 30 minutes or so, you want to make sure you put foil around the edge of your pie plate so that top crust, the edges don't burn so much. So I'll put this in my shell, and then I'll show you it with the top crust on. Okay, I have my silicone mat and everything washed up from making my pies. So I've got my pie here. All I need to do is go ahead and vent it. So just make sure you vent it in a few places to let that hot air escape. I've got flour on me. I shouldn't wear black when I bake. And then I'm going to dust this with just some granulated sugar. And then put this into bake at that 375 for the hour and 20 minutes or hour and 10 minutes. And then I'm going to put foil around the edges the last 30 minutes. And then it'll be ready. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.